All right, so last night I was at the crib doing the last scroll of the night. I think it was like 12:05, and I came across an ad. Eminem just dropped a surprise album. No one expected this. It's 2020. M's damn near 50. I think Wikipedia's got him at 47, and nobody's really seen this one coming. So, of course, being an Eminem album, had to take a look. Upon now, first off, music is subject to the listener. Everybody has opinions. Everybody sees and feels things differently. Upon first listen, wasn't too impressed. I want to know what y'all thought after the first listen, if that was the only listen. Who's jumping in?
Go
Shaw?
ahead. You can go first.
So this is really hard for me because I am a huge Eminem fan, but I would be lying if I didn't say the past couple projects I have been disappointed. And this one was severely underwhelming. And it really hurts me to say that because I like love him as an artist so much, but my thing is like you gotta evolve, you know what I mean? And you have to age well. You have to understand that you're aging and age with music, and I feel like he just doesn't do that, but that's kind of like an ode to who he is because he never gave a shit about anything or how he was supposed to do anything in the industry before. That's kind of why he like won. But even like I don't know, man. I feel like this is just not a time for him and his style to do well at all because like the punchlines that he would like throw in there that were cringeworthy back in the 90s, that's what made him hot. Like he said a line about dropping a bomb outside of an Ariana Grande concert, and I literally like was like, why would you say that? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a punchline. I didn't feel like, oh
Yeah.
damn, that was clever. I was like, that's kind of fucked up. Why would you say that? You know what I mean?
I mean, in this day and age, we know Eminem likes to push buttons. There's, not many more buttons to push here in 2020.
That's what like
So he kind of had to go to something like that just to get a rise out of people. Trav, what was your first impression?
I mean,
Real quick.
my first impression was this is Eminem. I mean, it's better than the
Yeah.
last two. Definitely better than the last two.
Really?
Yeah. I think so, in my opinion.
Interesting.
I haven't listened all the way through, but
Right.
And then I saw like everybody bitching about the Ariana Grande line.
I didn't
And
even
then-
know people were bitching about it.
Oh yeah,
I
they're
just-
losing their minds.
I listened to it and I heard it and I
Gotta
was like,
respect
That's
that,
if
though.
you type in Eminem right now on Google, that's the first thing that pops up is about the Ariana Grande line.
yeah.
And then, but like to me, it's like if you like are bitching about him being like senseless and whatever, like you never listened to an Eminem album
No.
because he doesn't care. Like I mean,
Yeah.
he's doing this like it's almost like comedy to him.
Oh yeah.
Like this is his stand up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to expect that when you're going into an M album.
And people don't get, but that's the thing is people don't understand that. Like they think that everything he says needs to be conscious and
Well, of course.
whatever.
There's
but
a lot of comedic. I mean, yeah,
like,
of course.
and they're gonna bitch about a line like that, and then go listen to a rapper talking about ODing on drugs and think that's okay. So
Yeah.
where do you draw the line here?
I feel
There
like
isn't a line. It's music.
yeah. I feel like in my mind like but most people don't think like I do because I know music and I know him as an artist. When I heard that line, I didn't really judge him. I kind of judged myself because I was like what Slim Shady LP, he said 10 things
Oh, it was about
under the
Columbine
sun, a
back
million
then.
things worse than that. And I never once was like, he shouldn't have said that. I was like, this is just, who he is. But when I hear it, like, now, it doesn't sound right. Like, it just doesn't sound like back then it was branded and, like, it sounded right and it made sense and it felt authentic. And I feel like now it sounds like he's just reaching. And I feel
Right.
like maybe that's why I was like, bro, I don't know.
That's exactly what I was thinking about earlier. Not just in that sense, but the realization that I came to is, when we were growing up and, we heard Eminem in our teenage years, we were kind of in that rebellious stage in that, and that's kind of the image he portrayed back then. He rebelled. He did, people hated on him, and that's why we liked him, because they were talking shit about him, because he was pushing buttons and this and that. And as we get older, those type of things, I don't know, it doesn't connect with us the same way it did when we were younger.
It doesn't resonate.
Exactly. It doesn't resonate as well, and he's not saying all of the same things he was. It's I don't know. He's matured a little bit, but of course it's just punchlines.
Yeah,
it's all
that's-
punchlines. And I mean, I myself personally need more than just punchlines. I want to dive into some stats here, though.
Can I go back to like the? I just want to touch on the Ariana Grande thing again.
Okay.
It's like, because it just annoys me how much people are bitching about it. Like, just in if people would like do some like fact checking and stuff, they realize that fucking Ariana Grande's fiance made a joke about the same shit.
Oh, really?
Like literally 3 months after it happened,
Oh,
and she defended
yeah.
him.
Yeah. Like, I don't necessarily think that it's wrong that he said it.
It's just it's comedy.
I just feel like,
Is what I feel like.
yeah.
Well, also, Ariana Grande had nothing to do with the bombing.
Right.
That was just coincidence. I mean, maybe not coincidence, but it just happened.
Yeah.
She had
Well-
nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was outside of her control. So I feel like,
But it's like people.
I mean, it's a touchy subject, but
Yeah.
come on.
It's like people were saying it's okay for Pete Davidson to do it because he's a comedian.
Yeah.
But it's not okay for a rapper to do it because. But I don't know their justification there.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Like, I think him saying the line shouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
But I think that, like, I felt weird. Like, I didn't feel normal, like normal Eminem, It just felt like he was reaching, Like, I like if someone, like, was doing stand-up and you're like, damn, you're just trying too hard, man.
Right.
That's what it felt like when he said that. I was like,
I feel
this
like
is
that a
weird.
lot nowadays with his lyrics. But like I said,
He is
things
reaching. That's the
change.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
well, of
You
course.
know?
I
Yeah,
mean,
no, 100%.
all right, so look, he's approaching 47. Not that has anything to do with anything. Jay's still rapping too. I'm not even too
But
sure
he's
how.
aged
But of
well.
course, they both have different types of styles, and they both spit about different kinds of content. At first listen, I was like, man, these beats, they ain't like that at all. Now I'm actually checking the Wikipedia, and M's got production credits on like 80% of this album. I don't know if that has any contribution into why the beats are a little lackluster.
I read that Dre had a lot to do with it secretly.
Dre's got like production credits on probably like 6 or 7 of these, and he's got one full one on it. That's just an interlude.
I feel like also.
I heard he had like a lot to do with like under the
Behind
sheets,
the
like yeah,
scenes,
you know.
yeah.
I believe it. I mean, there is some good beats on here, and there is some gems, and there is a lot of good lyrical content. For me personally, it's not something I would really just re-listen to. There's like 3 good songs, in my opinion, out of 20,
I don't
17.
understand.
minus the interludes.
I feel like he also forces collabs in certain
yeah.
situations.
The Ed
Like,
Sheeran one.
Yeah, like honestly,
Definitely was not an M-type song.
honestly, it's crazy because for Ed Sheeran, that hook, I could get with that hook. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With it done in a good way, but like he puts this hook on and then completely changes the beat and does something completely different, and I'm like confused by what are you trying to do here, man? Like, this isn't a. When you think about music, I don't know if you guys think about it like this, but it's like you think about how someone's going to consume it. Are they going to be in the club, turn it up? Are they going to be in their car riding to it? Are they going to be like there's environments in which you would like play it, and I can't think of what I would like. I don't want to ride to it. It's not a club record. It doesn't get me hyped like I'm ready to fight. Like, what is this song supposed to be making me feel right now? I feel like it was supposed to be a party record,
good
but it's
point.
not.
Look, I also don't want to just bash on him this whole
No.
podcast, because like I said, there is some bright moments. Like I said, there's like 3 good songs. That No Regrets joint, that beat is crazy. I don't know if it stuck out to you guys like it did to me. But
But what songs of M's like put you in a place, you know, like what other than like Lose Yourself and like all
The entire Slim Shady LP.
like makes you want to fuck shit up, right?
Yeah, it makes me want to fuck shit up.
Eminem
Right.
show is
But
probably my top of his.
I also just love rapping them, like
The
zoning off of
cadences,
one
the
joint,
flows
stop in
were
a
a lot
limo, hop in a
different back
window,
then.
shopping it.
Yep.
Like I love rapping
Yep.
them in my car, you know,
Right.
Brain Damage, like all of that. Like it's, you know, it's just fun to me. Like I have fun listening to it. I don't, you know, and if I turned it on at a party, it would be to jump around and rap every single word with my friends. That's
Right.
the only reason I would turn it on. But none of that. That's what I mean. Like that's what I love about M, and I don't feel that at all anymore when I listen to his music, which really sucks because I really genuinely like love him as an artist. I think he's one of the greatest. But I feel like I don't know. I'm not with the lane he's in right now, and I do think like I'm glad you kind of bring up Jay-Z because I feel like you gotta look at how he's aged in music, and they came out around the same time. He's still relevant culturally. He knows how to make things that are not off brand, but still, you know, make sense for the time. And I just feel like I'm struggling right now because he doesn't know where he fits in.
Well, I feel like maybe M has a problem of like not letting people in. Like I feel like Jay-Z would let anybody in to tell him what to do or tell him how to do something or like, you know,
Yeah.
open his mind.
Yeah.
And M's probably just like, nah, I'm
I'm
doing me. Like
Yeah.
if you look at his label, look at his like the people he signed and go look at the people Jay-Z signed.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
another point I wanted to bring up. So we were talking about the features and how he forces features.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got, you know, Ed Sheeran, which you've talked about. He's got the Juice World feature, which I'm sure everybody knew that was coming if you've seen, you know, pics online with them too. I like the Anderson .Paak joint. But what I did notice is nobody from Griselda is on his new album. You know, Benny the Butcher, Conway, and all them.
Yeah.
None of them. And they're under Aftermath.
Yeah.
Didn't put one of them on there, but he's got Slaughterhouse minus Joe Budden.
You got Royce on there a few times, right?
Royce has got like 3. I'm not surprised by that.
No.
But you know who this
Young
album?
Ma, that was the big. Or
Yeah.
Young,
That one-
Young
Bro,
M.A.
that shit was trash.
I'm sorry.
Until
but that
M
song was
until
not
M
good.
started rapping, it was trash. Like her whole fucking intro shit. Oh my god, it was terrible.
Well,
It was so cringeworthy.
Because once again, it's not on brand for her. Like
Yeah.
her type of music she makes. No offense to Young M.A, because I think she is dope, but she makes one type of music. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not that type of music, I
There
think
was just like no flow. Like I don't know. I was cringing listening to it. And I was like, I can't do this.
But what was I gonna say?
I'm an asshole.
No, I feel like
Young M.A, let me shoot your videos.
oh my god. Here we go. No, but I feel like the project itself wasn't. It's not like it was like horrible. It's just I want to feel something again when I listen to Eminem. Like I want to turn it on and literally be like going like crazy in my car because it makes me feel something, and I haven't felt that in a long way. But I do think that this album is for like people who love underground hip hop, like people who love Royce, people who love Slaughterhouse. Like my dad is gonna love this. Kirk is gonna love this because that's all they want to hear is just a bunch of rapping, like rap for days. That's all they care about. They don't want to hear anything else. They don't like anything that's new. So I think they're gonna. If I sat down and asked them how they felt about it, I feel like they would think it was pretty dope. But
I don't think Kirk's gonna like it.
you don't think so?
Mm-mm.
We're gonna have to
But,
get
yeah,
back
we'll-
to you guys
we'll
on
have
that.
to- we'll
We'll
have to
drop
holler
it.
at
We'll
them.
drop it in the
Kirk's
comments.
not gonna like it because the features.
I'm not even worried
He's
about
definitely not
I
liking
don't
the
know.
Ed Sheeran song.
Anyways, I want to bring up one more point. So this is M's. I believe it's his 9th album, or I'm not quite sure. He did 8 in a row #1s, so I'm just gonna assume that all of them but Slim Shady went #1. So this is probably his 10th album, maybe 11th, aside from re-up and stuff. But anyways, do you feel that having, you know, consecutive lackluster or not as good as your classic albums brings your entire career down in numbers, like if you were to rate, your top 10 rappers, does this knock him down a couple notches?
I mean, I think we've talked about this before. Is like, how do you compete with yourself when you started so strong?
Well, of course, everybody's got their peaks and valleys.
I feel like it's definitely can change your perception, because for someone who you were my number one, you were my number one. Like, now I'm like, that version of you is still my number one, but I haven't seen that version of you in I don't know how long. So it's like, it really does start to like taint my view of how good you are as an artist, because you can't figure out how to make something
that's better than before.
Yeah, or just even something
plateaued or even going downhill.
And like, that's why I say it's hard when people, and then we're not going to get into this, but when we talk about artists that went out in their prime, you're going to feel like they're the greatest of all time because they never had a chance to put out a bad album.
And that's what I wanted to bring up is Pac and Big, because they didn't have a chance to put out a bad album. Of course, they passed early, but I mean, even if somebody were to put out, 5 albums like solid and then just quit, maybe because you never heard a bad album from them, it skews your perspective of them as an artist higher, being you didn't hear a lot of bad stuff from them.
100%.
I mean,
I had M in my top 3, but I don't know.
It's hard now.
I have to reassess, but he might have fallen out of the top 5.
So like, who
in
else,
recent years?
Who else from M's like prime, like time, are you still listening to today?
Me?
Yeah, like, can you think about somebody like from M's prime that you're still listening to that's making music
Early
today?
90s.
I'm listening to stuff that was before M still.
Yeah, well, but like,
I get where you're going with this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who else when M came up at the same time is still making music?
No, he's just saying.
No, who's still?
He's saying who,
like,
even from
there's a lot of rappers in their 40s still putting out music.
But he's saying, who's that artist from that time right now who's just dropped a new project that you're bumping?
Anybody that anybody's listening to.
I mean, I don't know what all those artists have put out new recently. I could tell you artists that I still listen to from back in the day, but M is not in my rotation. I've still got Method Man, Mobb Deep, artists like that in my rotation.
Yeah, they're old stuff.
Old stuff. I'm talking about, all right, so M just dropped an album.
Right.
Name another artist that came up with M that dropped an album in 2019 that is fire. You probably can't. You can't do it.
I don't think any of them did.
Exactly. So, like, you still got to give it to him. Like,
I get
he's
it.
making waves. He's still making waves.
I get it.
I can't take nothing away from him. For all I know, this is still going to be a number 1 album.
Yeah.
I think I just take it personally because I'm like, gosh, man, you were like my number 1, and now I'm not gonna play that probably.
It's like it's almost like that generation can't evolve. Other than like.
I don't know.
Could you imagine him making a hit song like on the radio today?
No, I don't know what it would sound like.
Yeah, that never was his lane.
Exactly.
They just picked him up because they had to at the time, because he was the biggest rapper at the time. I mean, worldwide.
Right.
But
Lose Yourself. That was a radio hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
8 Mile.
That was a global hit.
Yeah.
But regardless, I don't know. As we get older, our tastes change. As the hip hop game evolves. Taste, sounds, all of that changes, and some people do, some people don't. Me personally, I don't know. Off first listen, it's like a 5 or a 6, and that's being friendly, and that's really because it's only Eminem. Yeah. I'm gonna go 5.75.
5.75.
Solid.
But I thought he was gonna go with a 5.40, but
nah,
he didn't.
Missed the opportunity.
That was a missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Tune in next week. Just kidding.
Tune in next week. We're gonna rate choices. Might get a 5.40.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yep. Check out the album. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you agree or disagree?
And follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. TClemStudiosLLC.com for the merch. Big whoop.